Last week, I did a video on sending a thank you email as a candidate when you don't get the job and what the benefits are. Somebody responded to my video and said, Ben, I send that thank you email because I want feedback. I want to find out what I did wrong, what I could do differently, and why I wasn't chosen. But getting feedback as a candidate is actually really difficult. It's a hard thing to get. In today's video, we're going to talk about why that is and what you can do as a candidate to try to get feedback to find out why you didn't get the job. Let's go. Now, everybody wants feedback when they don't get a job, right? You spent the time, you applied, you brushed up your resume, you prepared, you interviewed, you went through multiple interviews, and they say, thank you, but no thank you. So it's only natural to want to go, okay, but why? What did I do wrong? What did I not have as a candidate? Why didn't you choose me? But it's actually really hard to get. Why is that? There are two main reasons. One, for the employer, it is all downside. There is no benefit to them to explaining to a candidate why they weren't chosen. You can make an argument that by being transparent, you're going to create goodwill, which means they might want to apply in the future. But realistically, most employers are concerned about what they might communicate and the liability there. Like they might say, oh, we chose someone who was, a little bit less expensive or newer in their career, or we chose someone who we thought had better experience than you, and it turning into a contentious thing. So there's not a lot of upside for employers to actually give candidates feedback. So as a result, whenever you ask, you tend to get ignored, or they give you really boilerplate feedback like, we decided to go with someone whose experience was more closely aligned with the job description. Something like that. So the first reason is that there's not a lot of benefit to the employers to reaching out and actually giving you that feedback. Now the second reason, and it's not a good reason, is they are very busy. It takes time to reach out, have a conversation, explain to someone the actual reason they weren't chosen, and time is at a premium for most recruiters, HR people, and hiring managers who are busy. Recruiters have a lot of transactional work, they're always moving, they're just busy in general. And for people in HR and hiring managers, hiring makes up a very small portion of their job. So in all likelihood, whenever they are done with it, they are trying to move on. They're not trying to reach out and engage. Now, this isn't a good policy. As a candidate, you deserve feedback. You should know why you invested your time, but you weren't chosen. But generally speaking, the second reason that you're not going to get feedback as a candidate often is because it takes time. Now, some of you are thinking, well, Ben, yeah, that's all well and good. I still want feedback. So here's my advice for those of you who go, yeah, I get that, but I still want feedback. Here's what I would recommend doing. First things first, you've got to email them. Email them a polite letter, right? You're going to catch more flies with honey than you will with vinegar. So email them saying, hey, thank you for letting me know I didn't get the job. I just want to let you know that I really appreciate your effort, your communication throughout the process, and everything that you shared with me about your company, about the role specifically. That was a very, positive interaction for me, and I really appreciate it. Then you want to express to them, hey, I'm also the type of person who is always trying to improve. I'm one of those people who really relishes the opportunity to get feedback because I see feedback as an opportunity for me to fill in the gaps and understand how I can get better as an employee. Then you want to ask them for two things. The first thing you want to say, is there any way you can give me any feedback on what I did during the interview that maybe I can improve upon next time so that I do a little bit better in upcoming interviews and I represent myself as a better candidate? And then the second thing you want to say to them is, additionally, is there any experience I could gain starting now until maybe if I was to interview for the same role a year or two down the line? What can I do between now and then so that the next time I interviewed for this role, I was a more complete, stronger candidate? When you ask those two things, you're basically asking the two things that you can control, right? What is it you did as a candidate that maybe wasn't appealing to them? Is it something you said? Is it something you left out? Did you not elaborate on something that was critical to them, right? You want to know those things because that feedback can help you become a much better interviewer and, if not for them, maybe for another company in the future. Now, the second part of that is all about the experience you're lacking. Sometimes you can do great research, you can prepare, and you can crush your interview, but there are just parts of your background that aren't complete. You don't have enough experience doing blank. You haven't done enough A, B, and C. They're looking for someone who has experience using whatever. So that's the second part. So those are the two pieces of feedback ideally you want. Was there something I did wrong in the interview, or is there experience that I don't have that would make me a more attractive candidate in the future? You want to ask those two things, and if you can do that, you're going to get a full, complete picture as to why you didn't get the role. Lastly, you always want to let them know, hey, if they give you that feedback. I appreciate that so much. This is really helpful. I'm going to take it and I'm going to use this information in upcoming interviews. And I want you to know that if you have another role like this open in the future, I would absolutely be interested in entertaining it. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time. And hopefully they do. There you go. That's the video. If you are new here and you're not subscribed, please subscribe, hit that like button. If you have a question or comment, leave it in the comment section. Not only do I respond to all of my comments, but I often make videos about them because those are questions other people have too. Good luck in your next interview. You got this.